Hey guys, it's Jermaine with the Wise News Network, and I am here in Kingstown, North Carolina at the 2023 Juneteenth Festival. In case you don't know, June 19th is a very special day. It represents the emancipation of enslaved people in the U.S. So today we're here, we're celebrating. There's art shows, there's bouncy houses, there's food trucks. A special day for a special occasion, guys. Hopefully you're here and celebrating with us, so we'll see how it goes.
Welcome to Juneteenth 2023. I'm the Northeast Southwest most requested DJ Dr. Jim from the all-new WPCS podcast in Shelby, North Carolina. Welcome to Juneteenth 2023, Kingstown, North Carolina. Give it all the way up.
Hello, I'm Sherry Sharp, and I'm live here at the Juneteenth Festival in Kingstown with my coworker Billy Mitchell, and we're representing the Cleveland County Partnership for Children. And this is a nonprofit organization that can provide no-cost child care for families in Cleveland County that qualify. As you can see by our table, I have an array of information for you. We have the qualifications that are needed, the materials you need to get together. So all we need for you to do is come out and see us, and we will tell you what to do, and maybe you qualify for no-cost child care for your child between the ages of 6 weeks and 3 years old. We also are signing up children for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, which is a free service. Your child will receive one book a month until they turn 5. And that is not based on income or anything. So anyone can come and sign your children up to receive one free book a month with the Dolly Parton Library. Come see us at the Kingstown Juneteenth Festival. Bye.
There's amazing organizations out here, including P&M Ramseur Foundation, where they're educating children on art and farming. So great causes, and there's a lot to learn. Let's check it out. Now, I know that you guys were part of an art program. How was that?
It was like very fun because like we was able to paint stuff that we could paint, and we was learning different techniques.
How was it for you, Serenity?
It was so much fun.
It was so much fun. What was your favorite part of the art program?
When we was making the sculptures.
The sculptures? What was your favorite part, Serenity?
The same thing as Malik.
The same thing as Malik. Is this your brother? Yes, so you guys love the sculptures. Would you guys like for the art program to happen again?
Yes.
Now, I know that actually your artwork is displayed over there on that table, and I heard that both of you guys have sold a lot of paintings. So how do you feel about that?
I feel like I want to be able to go to Walmart and get some.
Yeah. How do you feel about selling all your paintings?
I feel like I want to get all of the Barbies in the world.
So you guys already know exactly what you're going to buy, huh?
I'm going to get LED lights.
LED lights? LED lights and Barbies. So do you guys think that you'll continue the arts as you get older and continue creating?
Yes.
What about you?
Yes.
Well, you guys were amazing. You have some amazing artwork, and keep up the great work, okay, guys?
Thank you.
Happy Juneteenth. Wave, guys.
Hi, my name is Jawan Blanton, and this is my business, JC Inflatables and More. And these are some of my helpers that I have, my family, my fiancés. My fiancée, Christine White. It's my mom, Christina Hardy. This is my grandmother, Brenda Davis. We have been serving people with this inflatable business for 2 years now, and it's been great. It's just been a blessing being able to, you know, just have another avenue to just help kids out and just give people the best entertainment in Rutherford County and surrounding areas. And it's just been a blessing to, you know, that God gave me this opportunity. And ever since, you know, I graduated from college, my grandmother, she had aspirations of doing the business, but since I graduated, she just decided to give it to me. And, you know, I'm just eternally grateful for her for even just giving it to me. For upcoming bookings, we have June is booked, but as far as July, we have openings everywhere from July and so forth. So if you need any inflatables, I'm your guy. Just hit me up.
Community of Kingstown, North Carolina, thank you guys for showing your face in the place. Before we get this event started, let me take a moment to introduce myself. I'm DJ Dr. Jim from the all-new WPCS podcast in Shelby. About 35 years ago, y'all, the good Lord called me and said, hey, let's try and do something. What did he call me to do? It was this right here. I took an event like this. What would it take to bring all of God's people together? Everybody out here has something in common. Anybody want to take a guess what that is? One guess. Let me tell you what it is. Everybody out here loves some kind of music. Can we agree with that? Everybody from the youngest to the oldest. Everybody out here loves some type of music. So who does the music? Who plays the music?
Dr. Jim.
A DJ. A DJ. And that's what brings everybody together, y'all. A DJ. Because everybody out here loves music. And who plays the music? A DJ. Having said all of that, let me welcome all of y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all very much. And please continue to support these events. Kingstown, big shouts to y'all. Mayor, big shouts to you. Reverend Wilkinson, my good friend, big shouts to you. Let me let y'all know, Friday, July the 7th, 2023, at the LeGrand Center, Cleveland Community College, we got our first annual extravaganza where we're going to surprise a whole lot of people that's been on our podcast. So y'all please come out 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock at the LeGrand Center, Cleveland Community College. Make sure your face is in the place because we're going to have a ball, y'all.
Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us, facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Oh, stony the road we trod, bitter the chestnut rod, fell in the days we hold. Unborn had died, yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our Father sighed. Oh, we have come over a way that with tears have been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughter.
I'm Mayor Pro Tem for the City of Shelby. My name is Andrew Hopper. And it's been my pleasure and my honor to work along with officials in Kingstown. And thanks, Mayor, under your leadership and your current team, you all are going in the right direction. And I want to thank you for your leadership. You got a great team up here now. Y'all keep it together and keep going. For you young people, I'd be remiss if I didn't cover that. Young people, get involved. Go to when Kingstown have their town hall meeting, please go attend when you got a chance. And from some of the older citizens of Kingstown, if you have not served before, start attending the meetings. See if you can help on committees. Help your town grow.
Good afternoon. It's so good to see everyone out today, all the Kingstown citizens and all the Kingstown friends. We welcome you to our not second in a row, but our second Juneteenth celebration. And thank you so much for those who have come before me and who have expressed thoughts and thanks and have given remarks about the importance of us recognizing Juneteenth. The most important thing about Juneteenth, nobody is free unless we all are free. And when we all got the message that freedom was here, that is truly Freedom Day. Amen. So it's important for us to recognize and to remember those that have come before us and set the stage for us. My chore today is to introduce our keynote speaker. And a funny thing happened this morning. We've been waiting, postponed our event a little bit because we were anxious to get our speaker here for you to hear him. He's an awesome speaker. Only to find out that he's been hiding out in the vendor's booth.
I got one community announcement I got to make before I go into speech. It has to do with the youth and the parents of these young folks and all of the legislators. There's a piece of legislation in Raleigh right now. It's called House Bill 187. House Bill 187, and I had to go to Raleigh, and I don't have influence, but I tried. I tried to talk to them about it. House Bill 187 is on the tracks, and it's going to happen. It is the bill that looks just like these bills that are sweeping the country, that are minimizing the discussions on slavery in the schools, racism in the schools, diversity in the schools. House Bill 187 is on its way, and it's going to happen in North Carolina. So I just want to give you, we can't be called sleep, we can't be called flat-footed, because the bill is coming. It's got a different name, but it's the same bill that these other states have passed. It's called House Bill 187. It was vetoed last year by Governor Cooper because he had veto power because the Democrats still have part of the majority. The Republicans have the supermajority now, so he's going to veto it again. But they have the override. They're going to override and pass House Bill 187. It's going to affect our schools. The book banning is coming, all that stuff. So I don't want community leaders, parents, I don't want you to get caught off guard because it's coming. House Bill 187. It's going to happen this year sometime. Juneteenth. You heard a little bit about it. I'm going to give you just a little bit more. Juneteenth. Let's talk a little bit more about what Juneteenth is. It is the annual celebration of the end of slavery in Texas. Okay? Because Juneteenth, as you probably figured out, it takes its name from June and 19th, because everything happened on June 19th. So you know how we do with names, we merge words. So it's called Juneteenth. So that's what it is. It's June 19th. It's also called Jubilee Day. It's also called Freedom Day. Sometimes it's called Black Independence Day. So it's got several different names. There is, if you haven't Googled it, go out on Google, there's an official flag for Juneteenth. And the flag has the colors red, white, and blue. It's got a star in the middle that represents the state of Texas. And then there's another star around the star that represents that we are now Americans and we're on the move. So go out and look at the official star for Juneteenth. Juneteenth is now an official holiday thanks to President Biden. It is officially a holiday here. But there's some things about the end of the Civil War. If I could go back in school, I wish they had taught it a little bit different. As Sister Martin mentioned, see, the Civil War ended in April of 1865, but Texas was a holdout. Texas refused to acknowledge that the war was over. So Texas held out and held their slaves until June the 19th of 1865, illegally. They held those slaves for 2 more months until General Gordon Granger led those Union soldiers to Galveston, and he read them a new act, and he said 3 things. Folks in Texas, the Civil War is over. Number 2, the Union won the war. And number 3, you got to release their slaves today. So that's why they drove off on June the 19th. But the thing about the Emancipation Proclamation, that's a tricky document. See, when I was in school, we were taught that the Emancipation Proclamation actually freed the slaves in 1863, but the southern states ignored it for 2 more years. Because they were fighting in the Civil War. So the Confederacy thought they had their own government, so they ignored the Emancipation Proclamation for 2.5 years. It was 2.5 years before that executive order went in place. So if you go to Houston, and I want to go there, there is a park in Houston called the Emancipation Park. In 1870, a group of free slaves pooled their money together. They could only come up with $800. But Mayor, they bought 10 acres of land. 10 acres of land for $800 in the year 1870 because nobody in Texas would let them have a celebration like this. So they got unified. It took them a hard time to get those $800. They bought those 10 acres of land. So now it's still in the city of Texas, Houston, almost in the downtown area. They held Juneteenth Fest from 1870 all the way up to 1950 in that one park. So if you Google Emancipation Park, you'll see it now that it's an official 501(c) corporation. They hold all kinds of events, and you can see the backdrop of downtown Houston from Emancipation Park. But that's what our ancestors did. It's called vision. And just like Kingstown is working, you got to work with vision. You cannot work with whatever it does today. You've got to see out into the future. So we need to give them recognition for what they did. But see now, the Emancipation Proclamation was a tricky document because if you read it, it says the slaves in the Confederacy are to be freed. But they weren't the only states that had slaves. In the Emancipation Proclamation, it exempted from that decree all of what they called the border states. Maryland was a border state. Delaware was a border state, Missouri and Kentucky. So they were excluded from the Emancipation Proclamation because they kind of sympathized with the Union and they said, we're not Confederates. So they said, well, you can still hold your slaves then. You're cool. So when you look at the Emancipation Proclamation, 4 states got exempted who said, and they told them, you can just hold your slaves until the war is over and we'll tell you what to do. So that's the piece and the loophole in the Emancipation Proclamation. And I talk in a lot of schools and I see a lot of our children bowing their heads when they talk about slavery. And I've had students to ask me, could you please don't talk about slavery because it makes us kind of awkward. And to the youth and to the parents, you shouldn't feel awkward about your history. Never run from your history, whether it's a hard task or an easy task. You have to embrace your history. This is, as a historian, what I want the students, when you're in those classrooms, this is how I want you to deal with it. The subject is 246 years. Black people in the United States worked for 246 consecutive years for free. Free. 2.5 centuries, man. 2.5 centuries we worked to build this country. Long hours from sun up to sun down. We had to work for 246 years for free. There is no way America could have come up and rebuilt the way it was unless we were given that free 2.5 centuries of free labor. That's why America came up so quick, came up so strong, because they had millions of slaves working for free. So when you go to school and you see your dear friends stick out their chest and they'd say, oh, our forefathers built this country on the sweat of their brow and the sweat of their... No, they didn't. No, they didn't. It was a totally joint participation. Without 2.5 centuries of free, can you imagine that? 2.5 centuries we had to work for free. In 1790, they only had 700,000 slaves in this country. By the year 1810, it doubled to 1.2 million. By the year 1840, it doubled again to 2.5 million. By 1860, there were 4 million slaves looking like us, working for free. The key word is free. No health benefits, no wages, no nothing. And they work from sun up to sundown. So you don't ever hang your heads because our people were slaves. They were also survivors. I'm convinced, and I know through writing books on the Old Testament, God has always had his eye on the black race. He has always had his eye on us. There is no way we could have survived that without God's grace. To come back and now become president and now vice president of the same country that kept us in slavery for 246 years. You can only do that through perseverance, endurance, and God's special grace. Amen. So to the children, do not hang your heads. You have no reason to go in there when they look at you and throw them a little funny slap because they used to do it to us. Oh, y'all used to pick cotton. So what? Y'all used to do these kind of things. So what? So what? But without us, you could not have done it in this country. They couldn't have done it. So, Mayor, I thank you for letting me come. I appreciate your evidence. But children, you got to work hard because our ancestors paid a tremendous price. That's right. We are the wildest dreams that our ancestors of slaves ever dreamed about. It's us. That's right. They dreamed about something like this. They never could have seen it. But we are the wildest dreams that they ever had. It's us. That's right. It's us. And to the youth, you've got to understand you're the best generation we ever had. I know they're knocking you. I know they're saying you're the lost generation. You're the best generation we ever had. You got to think that way because every generation is supposed to be better than the previous generation. That's called principles of civilization. So don't let people say you're off base or whatever. You got to have in your mind, we represent the best, and you got to stand up for the best. You got some work to do, but in mentality, you've got to understand it's you.
Hey guys, it's Jermaine with the Wise News Network, and I am here with Jordan. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I hope you are too.
I'm absolutely amazing. An amazing event. I know that you worked with the arts program. Could you tell us a little bit about your role and what you guys did?
Of course. So Jermaine and I actually worked together and we co-taught some art classes. We taught the students about sculptures and abstract painting and realistic painting and all the different skills that go along with that. And the idea was really to uplift these kids so that they can learn that art is an amazing thing. They can make money on their art and just to inspire them to be creative. We also had different elements of dancing as well. We had a dance teacher come in, which was so great because we are not dancers really,
at all.
Could not teach someone how to dance. But Natalie Mayo is her name and she did such a wonderful job teaching them different elements of hip hop dance and African dance. So we just really wanted to teach the kids all these different styles of creativity. So,
and they did learn so many different mediums. I know a favorite was a class that you taught which was the collage actually, and a number of the collage pieces have actually sold today. So
right. Yeah,
pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think collage is a great way. Anybody can be creative with a collage. Just cut some stuff out of a magazine and call it a day. So
right, and very easy. And I see that back here we have some painting and sipping with some sparkling juice going on back here. Could you tell us a little bit about the kids back here creating?
Of course. So we just had this set up kind of like a paint and sip, and we just wanted to have an easy way that kids could get involved and adults could get involved with creativity. So they'll actually be able to go home with their own canvas today, and I think that's really cool.
That is so awesome. An amazing time out here at the Juneteenth Festival, guys, in Kingstown, North Carolina. Thank you so much for speaking with us, Jordan. We're here at the Juneteenth Festival in Kingstown, North Carolina, and I am here with Ron Harrill. How are you doing?
I am doing fine. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Now, Ron is an award-winning author, and we'd love if you could share a little bit about your books that you have here.
Sure. First of all, I'm a historian, a writer, a lecturer on the history of Africa and African people. I've been doing this for almost 50 years. It's a passion. I was a banker in a former life. I did about 30-something years in the banking world with Wachovia Bank. But history, I do this every day. I'm in a lot of chat groups, networks, just to try and uplift the history of Africa. So I've written 3 books, 2 plays, and about 200 poems. And the book, if I can...
Absolutely. Wow.
This is the one, it's called Makita, the Queen of Sheba. This is the biblical queen that made the legendary visit to Solomon to see if he was the wisest man on earth. This is a book that contains her complete biography as contained in ancient manuscripts in Ethiopia. Just like the Dead Sea Scrolls, people found those scrolls. There are scrolls all over the old world. There was a scroll found in ancient Ethiopia, and her history was contained in the scroll. So I used it to write this book, and that story parallels with the biblical story about the visit. Now, this one is my award-winning book. I receive a lot of feedback internationally on this book because the Queen of Sheba is the only queen that made the Old Testament, the New Testament, the teachings of the boy Jesus, and the Holy Quran. She's the only queen that made all four of those. My latest book, if I could pull it up.
Absolutely.
This is my newest book. Also, I only write books before the birth of Christ. I don't write books in the modern world. There's nothing wrong with the modern world, but I'm a specialty in the ancient world because there were a lot of black empires and black nations that were on top in the ancient world, but they don't get credit today. Mm-hmm. This book is called Children of Genesis, The Black Nations in the Old Testament. This book goes through the Old Testament and it shows you one thing about the ancient world. The term race had never been invented. That's why you don't see that in the Old Testament. They did not know any concepts about the word race, and skin color did not mean anything. Wow. And that is a wonderful thing.
It really
about
is.
The Old Testament. That's why you don't see anything in the biblical Old Testament on skin color. It's all about what nation did you belong to. Are you a Moabite, Hamite, Egyptian, Philistine, Ethiopian, Canaanite? What nation? There are 17 nations that are in the Old Testament. 30 of the nations belong to the Noah's son of Ham, who was the father of the ancient African or black nations.
I am here with the mayor of Kingstown. How are you doing?
I am well, and I hope you are. So glad to have you here with us.
It is such an honor to be here. So much art going on, so much dancing and a celebration, and it's certainly a time for celebration. Could you tell us a little bit about what Juneteenth means to you and also about today's festivities?
First of all, Juneteenth means to me a day that we can all celebrate, look back, and celebrate one with the other on the fact that we all in this country have freedom.
Absolutely. And could you tell us about some of the activities and festivities going on today? What did it take? I'm sure it took a lot of work to get everyone here today and to get the word out.
We had a lot of collaboration going on to put this together, but I'm so pleased at the outcome. We have a wonderful DJ playing. We had an awesome keynote speaker in Mr. Ron Harrill, who gave us a lot of the history about Juneteenth that really I didn't know, and I've read quite a bit on it. So that was very interesting. We've got activities for the kids. We have sip and paint for some of the adults. We have bingo going on. We have bouncy houses and water slides, and it's just been awesome, awesome, awesome. We have vendors that have come out, and not to mention we had free food for everyone.
Yes, which was amazing, by the way. I certainly just had a hot dog. Hopefully I'll get a piece of fish before I leave here today. But it's such an honor to be back in Kingstown. I have family from the area. Is there anything happening in the near future in regards to Kingstown? I know that it's steady growing. It's been here for a while, and it's just such an honor to be here.
Kingstown is growing. We just had some major milestones that we have passed. We opened up a little more than a month ago a virtual health clinic through Atrium Health here, which is an awesome opportunity for the townspeople because we do have an aging population here, and that was one of the main reasons we went after Atrium Health to open up a virtual clinic here in this area. And it's not just for Kingstown, it's accessible to all the surrounding areas too, and have been used by others outside of Kingstown. So we're really, really proud of that. We have, for the first time here this summer, we collaborated with the YMCA. We have a YMCA summer camp. Yes. Have the Math Academy going on next month for the kids.
We've partnered with P&M, Paul and Marion Foundation, to do after school with the kids. When they leave summer camps, they go to reading camps with them. So a lot of good initiatives going on here in Kingstown, and we're looking forward to continuing it.
Well, that is absolutely amazing. And once again, it's such an honor to be here.
Everybody that's here, thank you. Thank you very much for coming out. On behalf of WPCS, we thank y'all. We promote community success. Before we close this, everybody that's here, do me a favor. Regardless of how close you are, tell somebody, you are my family. Doesn't matter. Tell them, you are my family. Tell them that. No matter if you know them, if you don't know them, just tell them. Tell somebody, you are my family. All right? Y'all got that? You are my family. I said that to say this. As always, from all of us at WPCS Podcast, until the next time, remember the 3 laws of always. Always believe in God, always believe in yourself, and always love your family.